Hi, my name is Kevin Calhoun. In 2015, I was blessed enough to get the gift of life. My story kind of began back in 2008 when I was 28. I was diagnosed with cardiomyopathy. I was back home in Florida visiting some friends, and I ended up turning it into a night of getting life flighted down to Miami, where I was in the hospital and found out I had cardiomyopathy. They drained about 20 pounds of fluid off of me in a matter of 2 weeks. So that kind of began my journey living with cardiomyopathy for the next about 7 years. When I came back to Kansas City, I got in with the cardiovascular consultant group at St. Luke's, and I was treated predominantly by medication, strict diet, low sodium, things like that, healthy lifestyle. I tell people, a simple task like going to the grocery store was like playing 90 minutes of soccer. By the time I'd go park the car, go into the store, get my groceries, come back, load them up, get home and unload them, it was just like I was just wiped out. So my health declined pretty quickly. At the beginning of 2015, I went on the wait list, and I was in the hospital for a couple weeks before I finally got the good news. I basically was put on a balloon pump to kind of keep me going, so I was kind of bedridden for a while. And it started coming to a point to where the doctors were talking about the possibility of, putting an LVAD in me. Getting scared because I knew if I was going to be put on an LVAD, that would mean me putting placed aside on the wait list for another 6 months to heal from that surgery, and that would put me out of work further. My main concern at that time was not losing my job, making sure I was still functionable. I didn't want to have to wrap myself in saran wrap when I took a shower and petty things like that. But that was probably the first time that I was actually terrified of what was happening. I was never so scared up until that point because I knew what it would mean to my lifestyle or my continuation if that happened. So that night I was in the hospital, I prayed to the Lord, which I hadn't done in a while, and I prayed. Everybody knows, anybody who's been in the hospital knows that you don't get any sleep at night. So I just kind of prayed to the Lord, asking Him to give me some guidance on which way it was going to go, so I can kind of wrap my mind around it and be mentally prepared. And that night I actually fell into the deepest sleep I had probably ever fell into, to have my nurse wake me up in the middle of the night. And when I woke up, she kind of had to shake me awake because I was so hard asleep. And when I woke up, I saw her by my bedside along with 3 other nurses, and I kind of knew why they were all there. So that's when they told me they found a heart for me. And I felt like I could just jump out of bed and start running. That's how immediate and that's how present, my donor's gift was already within me and changing my life. So my recovery went pretty well, and over the course of the next few years, I got involved with MTN as an ambassador, involved with Trio Group, became a Donate Life athlete. So I just became more active than I ever had before. Before, I didn't have much of a personal life or a social life. I couldn't date, things like all the things that come with just having, an ongoing condition. So after I received my gift, I was just able to become more involved in the community. My life, I was able to get promoted again at work, and one of the highlights of my new life is that in 2017 I was able to travel to Malaga, Spain to compete in the World Transplant Games. So I had always played soccer growing up, so I participated in the soccer match. That was the first soccer match that the World Transplant Games had ever done, so I was able to play my favorite sport in my favorite country, where I'd always wanted to travel. With other, Europeans and people from across the country. And not only that, but that's where I met my current wife. And now we have a 20-month-old child named Kyle, and life's just never been better. None of this would be without, of course, the Lord, and none of this would be without my donor, who just was selfless enough to have the foresight to know that what he did not only saved my life, but impacted other people's lives as well. So to this day, I wake up every morning thankful for that. When I look at my family and I look at my life and my current situation, all I can help is but think about him and his family. I keep everybody in my prayers, but I just carry him on with my life, and I hope that he's looking down and is proud of that, and I hope I'm doing him right. But that's kind of my story, and that's essentially what the gift of donating life means to me. So